So wonderful. I have a new guest here at the podcast. It's Maxim, actually the brother of the little brother of the big brother.
Little brother.
Little brother,
Yeah,
but he's
yeah.
not so little.
No, he's the little one in the real
He's the
life.
little
you know?
one, yeah,
He's the
in
little
real
one in
life.
real life.
Of one of the parts that suits. And the funny story is Maxim is actually running a brand, multiple actually. He also exited one, so I think it's a very interesting story to be told. But yeah, happy to have you here. Please introduce yourself. I did a little bit of it, but who are you? How long have you been doing it? And
Yeah.
what are you currently working on?
So thank you for having me in the first place. So my name is Maxim Longhi. I'm 23 years old. Italian guy living in Belgium. Now I moved to Dubai since last year. So what I've been doing e-com for around 3 years. I started in 2022, so 4 years, 3.5, something like that. At the beginning, general, like everyone. At the beginning, it was slow, went quicker after. Built a brand in 2024 until 2025, mid-2025. Sold that one, exit, and now I have two main brands, which I've been scaling around 1 to 1.5 million a month. So it's going pretty well. Cannot not be happy, you know?
Definitely. And so you also had one brand that you exited. So I think when I talk to a lot of people, I'll mention that they want to have a brand and they want to exit it.
Yeah.
But if I talk to 200 of those people, maybe 0 of them do it, honestly.
True.
So it's a very specific niche market of people exiting really their brand. What made you decide to do it? And why do you think your exit was successful?
Yeah. It's important to know you have two types of exits. So there's one which is really big amounts. You talk about tens of millions of dollars, euros. With those, it's more difficult to get the exit because you need external funding, people to buy it, have venture capital, all that crap, which you know more about than me. But you also have the smaller exits, which are multi-6 figures, low 7 figures. And those are pretty easy to do. It's just one buyer that's interested in your brand and they want to buy it and the transaction goes through and that's it. Of course, you have following up months. You still need to be involved for some months. The team goes with it. But it's not, I think people overestimate it. But a lot of people cannot sell their brand because 90% of the e-com space is just bullshit. It's closure sales, it's this and that. You just need to have a clean store, a clean ad account structure. Everything needs to be clean, separated. And that was all right with me. It was not perfect. I think it could have been perfect if I knew what I was doing then, but it wasn't. But it was good enough to make the exit. And so I did. I did it primarily because it was a pillow, I can just say, and it was kind of a first purchase brand. You couldn't, people, maybe I'm short-sighted in this, but people don't need 10 pillows. So it was a first purchase brand. I was very sustained to the ROAS. The ROAS was very important day to day. The day-to-day profit was good, but it was very day to day. And I saw bigger opportunities in different niches where the LTV is bigger, where you can build a bigger multiple. So that's why I exited and then I started something new. And that's what I've been doing since. But the exit, I think people, they overcomplicate it sometimes.
What was the multiplier that you got on the brand?
1.5-ish on the profit, but the brand hadn't even been running for a year. So it wasn't the biggest exit. I could have done more and I know so, but I think it was the right time to sell.
Yeah, there was no date of the year-to-year growth.
Exactly.
So it's still a little bit of a guess. But indeed, a very stable market at the pillow branch. You could have sold blankets. It's a very big blanket brand.
True. I could have done more. I know now.
But now, yeah.
I know.
What would you have done different then?
So much things. Like when I look back now, I didn't know shit about marketing. I just did a couple of lucky creatives, which popped off. Got me to 40K days some way. I don't know how now. I would have done better on the marketing side. I would have focused on customer retention. The branding was also not super. It was there, but not how it should have been. So I think I have a lot of areas where I didn't screw up, but I just didn't know enough. And I don't blame myself, you know. I was 2 years in, so I couldn't have known everything. But I think it was very good learning curve, and I made a lot of money. Not to be stubborn about it, you know. It
worked.
It was still good.
It definitely worked.
100%.
Yeah. But it's funny because I know the product that you're selling, and
I think everybody knows.
Everybody knows, but we don't have to specifically name it. But that specific product was also being sold by other of my clients 4 or 5 years ago. So it's a brand that just comes back from time to time.
100%.
So
I think
maybe in a couple of years you can try it again, depending on what kind of agreement you have signed.
I wouldn't do it again, I think. But the product is amazing, and people always think in e-com that products die out, which they don't. A product is just put this on my story as well today. Product is just the way a customer solves his problem or gets to his mass desire. But if you can just keep marketing it well and you adapt to the market, it will always sell, especially that product. It's a really good product. I even tested it myself.
After how many orders? Yeah, did you have the first pillow?
I did a lot of orders. My brother ordered it for me on my birthday.
I know the story. So that's why you sold a lot of them. You never had it in your hands.
I think I had already 30,000 orders with it, but I didn't buy it myself yet.
You never touched it?
No. I knew it was good. The customer feedback was good. So that's all I needed to know.
Yeah. So, and these days, if you would start a new brand, what would you do different in the approach and going to the Go launch date?
Yeah, good question. I get this question a lot, but I think depends on your cash position. If you have a lot of cash, the obvious answer is, of course, MRR. Go into brands which can have the LTV from the beginning, but you will need to have to invest a lot of money because, of course, you can scale on the lower ROAS, but you need to attain that lower ROAS. It has more dangers on the processing side. It's more difficult to get it set up, but if you have the cash position and you have the knowledge to do it, get into a niche with MRR. 100%.
What's MRR for the people listening in?
It's monthly recurring revenue, where you can sell a subscription to customers. Don't do it black hat though. Put it on the side, please. Yeah. And then you're fine. But that niche, 100% is the best. Otherwise, I would just start simple, like a jewelry brand. The cost of goods are good. I love scaling brands that have very good unit economics. Low break-even ROAS is for me a no-brainer. So jewelry, something problem-solving, depends on whatever you're best at selling. But one of these niches, like fashion, is also good. You can also start a brand in that, but there comes a lot around with fashion. Sizes,
a lot of
colors,
SKUs, a lot of colors,
a lot of headaches, a lot of boxes that need to be ticked for a customer to be the right product. I think that's difficult.
That being said, the moment I went to the customs at the airport, I was tapped on my shoulder like, "Hey, you're a channel, right?" So yeah. And I just met a random dude that heard my name from somewhere, and he's actually running a fashion brand, of multiple of them, on an average of 5 million a month.
Nice.
And also having Klarna, everything up and running, and it is mass testing. So, and I told him,
with Klarna?
Klarna, everything on it. I said, okay, nice. So what do? He said, the product I display on my website is 100% the product the client is getting.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
So he has multiple, would say, gates the product goes through before it's even actually being scaled or sold. So he said, my system before actually scaling a product that is winning is so tight. I built it within the years, and this is a guy is completely anonymous. He doesn't like the attention, very long in the game already. And he said, this is someone, if you do this, you can also do fashion.
But and he does it from China?
Fully from China. He uses day one, to be honest.
Crazy.
So it is possible.
It is very possible.
It is possible, but you cannot test a product that has good numbers and instantly scale it. So there has to be a delay in there where you double check everything.
True, but when I hear it, I think the process to set it up is much more difficult. And I think you can do it earlier with other niches. You know?
That's true.
And easier.
Definitely.
Because he has a big advantage now. But I think to get there, it was some kind of way.
Years of work.
Exactly.
Luck, hitting the right walls to learn from as well.
Exactly. Whereas with supplements, to give an example, I know people that go from 0 to 200K a day in a month. And they sustain, not a month. A month's maybe too quick, but very quick, you know? I have friends doing 4 or 5 million a month with supplements. And it's just, in my mind, it makes a lot of sense because I love math. I'm very good at math. And I think the MRR game makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, also because ad costs keep rising.
Yeah.
You know?
So, but would you also say, like, I don't see a lot of people actually doing the pop-up stores and the physical store presences as well. So why is no one selling their goods in Walmart, in the bigger firms?
That's a big step.
Yeah. And a lot of people are also contributing a lot of the revenue through Amazon. It's a very good way to get brand authority. But you need to really make sure you have the intellectual property. Because this morning I was reading in one of the managing chats with the legal department, and there's one guy that wanted to scale his brand, and there was a party that got his IP and now launched it on Amazon US before him, and he's really mad. So he's trying. So we're gonna try what we can do about that.
Can you do something about that? It's possible, right? Because you had the site earlier. No, you had everything set up, the branding, or is it difficult?
Currently, I'll be honest,
was it a Chinese guy?
It's a new customer coming in, so I don't have the full context of the situation. So depending on the situation, that's maybe what we can do or not. If the IP has been finalized, it's gonna hurt.
Was it a Chinese guy that did the IP claim?
It
always
happens
the
a lot.
Chinese guys,
It
huh?
happens a lot. Yeah. So there are certain Chinese parties that are actively searching for people that want to scale their brand, and they file your intellectual property to basically hijack your brand. So it happens a lot.
Game's game.
Yeah, like around for a couple of months. So it's very sad, and it's not expensive in IP. So
How expensive is it?
it depends on the classes and the regions, but you're looking at several hundreds to sometimes multiple thousands.
Depends, right? You have the Madrid also, which is very interesting, no?
What do you mean?
I read something about it. The Madrid, that you can do it for a whole region, Europe, through Madrid or something.
Yeah,
I don't
of
know
course,
much about
you
this.
can do the Benelux, you can do whole Europe, you can do, but also you have the big five. But what a lot of people forget is they take a portion of the IP and location where they are currently selling, and they think they probably have some sales, and they don't think of the 1, 2, 3 years ahead.
Yeah.
And by the time they get to the regions where they also want to expand the markets to, someone else already claimed exactly their IP. So you want to be strategic about it.
Also in Asia, you think?
Definitely Asia, 100%. Because you can file your IP in Europe, big five, forget Asia. And let's say the other party files it in Asia, you cannot produce it anymore.
In Asia.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So usually that's where the products are being created. So
Makes sense.
it's actually one of the most important ones.
Yeah.
And you sold your brand. Imagine that the person acquiring your brand will also want to expand to Europe and already has the IP. So you also give him more security about the fact that he can also scale into different markets with your brand that you had.
So it's a multiplier. It helps with your multiplier.
You get it back multiple times easy. And it's just also, this guy is now going to spend, depending on the case, multiple thousands to maybe recover it.
Makes sense.
So it's a very costly mistake that he didn't do it up front.
But a lot of people miss it, huh? It's a
because no one tells it them. So you have this is typically one you need to hit your head, and they will never forget it.
Yeah.
Right.
Makes sense.
But in this game, especially with the beginner e-commerce brand owners or becoming brand owners, they focus more on cost efficiency, which is a very good thing. But certain things they are non-negotiable.
100%.
And they become non-negotiable once they find out how hard it can hit them.
Yeah.
So people spend also a lot of money on coaches, 5K, 10K, 25K, I heard the craziest amounts of money. But then 500 euros for something, that's too much.
Yeah.
So it doesn't add up, which is then actually bringing in the value. Because people believe the dreams that have been sold to them. Well, maybe also in your own experience, this is just also a very long way of hard work.
Yeah, 100%.
Experience. And you need to do it to really learn it. So no one's going to give you a SOP and then you're instantly going to make 5 million a month. You can't forget it. There's too much levers included of how do you see that?
Yeah, 100%. I think you need to build up everything, right? But IP one is very interesting. I think people miss it a bit too much. But that's where you guys come in, right? So that's nice.
I think the best structure, how we do it with people that are actually testing a lot of concepts, and when a concept is successful, they scale instantly. They usually have an entity that's already having a Shopify payment with the general name. Then they build landing pages per concept that they want to test, because the Shopify payments is already approved or whatever payment processor they have in the backend. They don't need to verify every new payment processor for every new concept. So you have, let's say, testing brand, LLC, LTD, whatever the company is. You just test your concept, and every time you have a winning concept, then you make a dedicated entity for it.
Yeah.
That's named after the concept, and then you get also instantly the intellectual property above the holding above, and that keeps the intellectual property instant. So you test it, you validated it. Now you're gonna produce it, making sure that the costs are lower. And I think a very good trick with this one is I know a lot of people that are testing ghost products. What I mean with that?
What's ghost?
They just create. So they either get like 3 to 10 examples of the product with that packaging. They use that to make all the ads, also with the AI, with whatever person they're using. Then they just spend an amount on ad spend for it, 500 to maybe 5K, to test different kinds of landing pages, concept, everything. And every order that's been ordered, they just cancel the order and say like, hey, we messed up. There's too much been sold. We're going to give you 100% return of the funds, no question asked. Or you're going to get a 50% discount, but it's going to take like 3-4 more weeks, whatever you choose.
Yeah.
So that they do not get all the disputes and they are very open to it.
Smart.
And that's how they can test a lot of brands with only several thousands per time without going into full production.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing you can have, and it happened to a lot of friends of mine, that they
think that's the right approach to test a lot of brands at once? and then
It
stick
depends
with
on your
ones.
team if you are capable of doing it. Because if you have, let's say, 3 concepts hit, you need to have the team also to be able to manage those concepts. So you need to have very tight managers and a very good, I think, education process of hiring someone and teaching this person the right skills so that he or she can perform on the level that you want to perform. Because
Okay.
it's a good way to have very low cost testing for brands and on mass scaling, because
I don't believe in testing brands. That's the thing. I think once you have an idea for a brand, first of all, you need to start with your research. Now it's back to the game thing, you know? You need to know what you're going to sell, to who you're going to sell, how you're going to sell it. And if you have that in mind and it fits with where you want to go to, then you can make anything work. Like I hear a lot of people that say, I tested this brand and this brand. Like when I test something now, it's 100% hitting. We launched a brand last month, supplements, of course now. And when I started it, I know it was the only domain I needed to buy because now we do 200 orders per day in 1 month. I had some issues, of course. But I think when you are prepared well and you know what the fuck you're doing, then people, of course, there are people on higher level that have 25 brands under one branch. I get that. But if you just want to build one brand, focus on that. Like also some big dogs are doing, really getting it to 800K a day-ish. That's possible. Then I think once you have the right preparation, you know what you're doing, you just need to do it, you know? So I think for people who want to begin their brand, I think you shouldn't think of like, oh, I'm going to test 5 brands and this. Of course, what you say, I get, but don't think like that. Just stick with one and really do good preparation. Your research needs to be top notch. That's where you hit the key lever. That's, I think, where we are really good at now. I used to not like to do it because it's very fucking boring. You know, reading
a lot,
understanding customer. It's really boring. That's also why it works, because nobody wants to do it. Everybody just wants to find a product, rip some ads, launch it and do 10K a day. But that's 3 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. Now I think if you have the right preparation, you know your audience, the product is not really that important. You can scale whatever you want, like whenever you want, whatever you want.
Would you rather go for a very broad audience or a very super niche audience? So
I would go for very
audience,
broad.
Moms, a very niche audience, moms with black hair that like a certain type of actor.
Yeah, I would do both. Like what we do is we start from one specific segment in a country. So let's say, example, men 50 plus. That's our beginning persona. It's not even a persona, but it's the people we want to focus on, because even in there you can already make a difference, because people of 50 years old plus, they read a lot. They are very used to seeing VSLs on their phone. Younger people, if you have a long copy ad or you have a long VSL, young people they don't give a fuck. You know, they're gonna skip it. So that's where you first dissect, I think. And after that, you can focus on the deeper personas. You have male 50 years old who struggles a lot with, I don't know, hair falling out. That's also like a broad persona, kind of, but you can go really in depth. But we start also from the very broad one, and then we focus with different angles on very specific ones, but it's all in the same pool. You know, we take the first pool, men 50 years old plus, and then we look at different angles in that pool, which have a big TAM. TAM stands for, it's TAM, I don't know, total addressable market. That needs to be big enough. If you have a TAM of 500,000 people, yeah, good luck. You know, you can get 5 orders, but that's it. You want preferably a TAM of 5 million plus, at least for one angle, and have multiple angles. Then you can really soak up scale without your ad fatiguing being super hard, because that's a big problem. You know, you can scale to 100K days easily, but to maintain it, you need a lot of potential customers.
Of course.
You know, so that's a big thing we leverage.
The customers that are buying from you, are you actively asking them like, hey, how is it going? How did you cut from us? What do you find from the products? Or are you giving questionnaires to them basically to find out what they really think of it and maybe how you can improve?
We do, but we don't do it enough yet. So we have like the Zig poll, the typical stuff, Zig poll, the mail flows. But I think we should do more with it, because it's a good one. You say it, you need to do more with it, because in your backend, the customers are already, that's really your customer. So I think we can definitely do a lot more with it, but it's an amazing way to know your customer. And the specific angles, you can even make them stronger outside of your own research if you do that. So we do it a little bit, but we need to do it more.
What do you find about packaging your products? I know a couple guys that are also very fond on the customer experience, also when they receive the product. So they want to make the box that you open it up, the look and feel, basically shareable for an Instagram story so that they get tagged, so that they also get more organic reach and building a real community about it.
100%.
Is that something you're also doing actively, or?
No, not at the moment. Like, I think it's very good and it's a good way to expand your reach. But I think you have two kind of brands a little bit. You have these kind of brands who really go about their community and really like try to push their narrative in the world, which is amazing, especially for like gym brands, gymwear brands. That's the best thing you can do, I think. But what we really focus on is the direct response in the front end. Just making high converting ads, getting people in when seeing their ads, really scalable on paid ads. And then we want to retain them with the back end. That's more what we're focused on right now. But who knows with this new supplement brand?
Also very expensive, right? Because if all your traffic is paid traffic, there's also a risk, because if the regulations change at the terms of condition of the payment of the advertisement channels you're using, you lose your audience. You maybe have to be very heavily investigated on the email flows. Don't know how good they are performing. As of course you have an MRR. So I hope you do not use Shopify payments with the subscription app behind it, because you do not have access to the tokens. So if you get kicked out, you lose all your subs.
A funny story. We launched it last month, right? But we really know what the fuck we're doing. So we scaled it to 15K a day in 3 weeks, which in my opinion is not that quick. Like after 2 weeks, we're still shipping from China, now going to the US, but we already had delivery data. So packages were delivered fairly quick, around 10 days since ordering. That's not doable, too long. Yeah. It's doable, you know. We were out at Giselle here in Bali. Good time. We came home, bit of after, you know, crazy stuff. Then I went to bed, and I don't check my dashboard that much. Like I don't really give a fuck anymore on day to day. I just need to know what happened the day before and then act on that. But I'm not like one of these geeks who just
every day,
you know, scrolling 15 times a day. I'm not that anymore. So I checked the dashboard and I saw like, it was like 4 hours no order. I was like, something is fishy here.
Yeah.
So I run to my laptop and I open my mailbox and I see like, your Shopify payments got terminated. Fantastic.
Great.
Yeah. So we lost, I don't know, 100K plus MRR, which is unfortunate. But the thing is also with e-com, and also I think what you do, after some years, you're just used to it. You know, it happens. Yeah. So we got quickly in touch with a good developer for our private processing, having the checkout CRM. So we're running on that now, and it's way better. Also for people who want to start in supplements, please, once you get to a bit of scale, invest in the correct checkout flow, checkout champ, have that set up, get some private processing mids in. It's worth it because your brand also becomes worth more because you have actually things in hand. You own your own tokens. You don't have problems with processing. Of course, you still have problems, but they're fixable because you can have more. So that was a funny story. But again, now that that's fixed, it's not fixed whatsoever, but it's a learning curve which we went through, which has already grown crazy because now we're even very profitable on front end because you can upsell more on the checkout champ.
That's good.
It's good. It was a good thing. It was like, how do you say it? Geluk ben ongeluk. An accident with, no. Luck with accident.
If a door closes, another one opens, right? Yeah,
exactly. So that was funny. But yeah, I get what you say about the paid traffic. It is something, but if you look at the really big brands at the moment, like the one who just got sold, Groens, sure you've seen it. 1.2 billion, crazy valuation, would never been possible if they relied heavily on direct response. Plus, of course, also the good packaging. That was also a thing they did way better than us at the moment.
Maybe ambassador programs.
Exactly. Like they did everything perfect, I think.
How else can you nail such a valuation?
Yeah. They did everything perfect. Yeah. But their main focus was direct response and the customer retention. And I think if we just focus on that for now, that will get way further than also focusing on, of course, we focus also on packaging, etc., but it's not the main focus at the moment.
Why wouldn't you hire someone that is very good at that part and just give them a budget and say, like, hey, you have 20K, 30K, 50K, whatever the budget may be. Yeah. And that's I'll call you in 3 months.
That's a very good question. You ask very good questions. That's something we need to look into, 100%. But I think it has more impact on like niches like gymwear, for example. Because I know,
have you tried it?
That's also true. That's also true. But if the product, yeah, that's true. You're right. Nothing to say there.
Yeah, right.
Do you have a lot of customers doing that?
What I've noticed, if I have a couple guys in my mind, they are insane, really literally insane, right? And if I talk with them, they act with their stores like it's a laboratorium. So they just test everything. So you tell them one thing, the next day already tried it out.
Yeah,
so
100%.
they basically say like, I don't know what's going to work the best, so I just try everything.
Yeah.
And with that philosophy, I think you should approach a lot of things.
Yeah.
So
Just
I got
go at it.
just try it. Right? What's the worst that you can happen? Yeah, you lose some money. What's the best that you can happen? It worked. You make more money. Yeah.
True. You're right.
So
100%.
I think making sure that you have an omni-channel approach, diversify, and you're not solely heavily invested only on paid traffic. I see with investors that's like something they really love.
Yeah.
That being said, investors love also that you do also a lot of things not well, because they buy your brand for the profit that it has made, and they know they can double or triple the profits very easily with certain things you haven't implemented, where they already have the team to implement it correctly. So they buy your makeup numbers, 2 million profit a year brand, and they can make it 5 million profit next year because they already know where to pull the leverage to do that. So they're just basically buying free money.
True.
So they love also brands that are neglecting a lot of stuff because they know how to implement it.
Are you also helping your customers with exits? Is that also something you do?
Yes,
if they want to?
we have the Dominic, your brother, is also very involved in that, together with Isidoro.
Nice.
And actually, we recently partnered up with a firm that's actually actively buying around 20 to 30 brands and stores a month.
Nice.
And we're their complete legal and financial counsel. And we help them actually buy and sell the brands. So yesterday, we bought one together with them. We are the bridge between them, the buyer, and them, and the seller.
Yeah. Okay.
And making sure that everything is correct.
So it's an investment firm that just sells, sells.
All the time. They have a very interesting approach, but it's theirs to tell. Maybe we have them on another podcast, or maybe can invite the CEO. But actually very good, to be honest. So, and then you see fast, but this guy has a lot of connection. He's around 50 plus.
Nice.
And literally I'm in a meeting room with someone from India, and the next day I'm in a meeting room with someone from Australia, and yet it just go
worldwide.
It's worldwide. And I think, how do you even know these buyers? Where do you get them from?
He is the middleman between buyers and sellers, but he's not. It's venture capital backed, or what is it backed by, or is it just people buying other people's brand?
It's both. So he has his own funds, direct able to deploy.
Okay.
And he has the funds of the investors that are actually looking into going into an e-commerce brand.
Okay.
And he's then, in that case, he's the broker, so to speak, the middleman. But he checks if the brands are valid, what they're doing, if the structure is correct. And we help when the brand is acquired to deploy a system where they are able to run it.
Yeah.
Because for this case, the one guy, he bought the brand, but he had no LLC, but selling in the US. So first needed that. So we also help them create the formations and make sure that the TOS, the privacy condition, everything is correct, because the terms and conditions and the privacy policies are things people neglect also a lot. They just create it automatically by Shopify, the AI, or you rip it from someone else's website.
Games game.
I've seen people with brands that are actually doing solid, and I see another store name in the
I know it. I've done it also before.
Yeah. Those clients, it's so stupid. And the exposure that you have is that with the privacy policies, the claims can be very high. Yeah. And you want to avoid, because if you use 10 apps, you should name all the 10 apps in there. So those kind of things, because of course the customer data is going through it. And there are parties, and they are everywhere, that are actively hunting for brands that have exposure that do this wrong.
How did they make money? Do they get a percentage from the lawsuit or something?
I don't know, actually.
Or is it just
to be honest, there's a party in the US that this is crazy. The odds of you getting in this problem is very, very extremely little. But in the US, I forgot which state it is, you need to California. Have a website where a blind person is able to navigate through it. I already told it to you one time.
Like footwear had the problem.
Yeah, so you need, if you go to the Dutch government website, you see a box with a speaker on it, and if you press it, it would actively speak whatever it states there. So those kinds of things should be implemented, or you can get a fine.
It's crazy, right?
And they just claim it, and then they claim the funds because they buy something on your website.
10K fine? No? Around there, right? Or it depends?
Depends, case by case again. But you imagine that there are firms that just, they found a glitch to make money.
Game's game.
It is game, but it is game. The moral is the moral. If it's the right moral to do so. So it's almost the same like you see someone cleaning in the US, then you see someone cleaning the floor and they forgot to put the little sign up for, hey, it's slippery, and then you break your arm on purpose and just sue them. It's a little bit like that.
The law is the law, right? My brother is good with that. So law is the law.
Dominic is very good with it.
Yeah?
So, yeah, definitely. But
what about him in the company? I'm very interested.
What do you want to know?
What is he the most keen on? What is his specialty?
I'll be honest, where Dominic is very well in is structurizing and managing teams. He's very good at creating teams that are performing from high performers and creating the right SOPs for them to do so. So he's very good in managing. Then with bigger client and very big task, you see that he kills it and just goes for it. Another thing that he really likes is his espresso and his sun time.
With his balls in the sun always.
That's yours to sell. But you really had to use it.
Yeah.
So Dominic, well, I'll be honest, I think everyone in the company is a very special kind of breed. And we all have our strengths and weaknesses. And the catch is that we only work in the areas where we are very strong in. Yeah. So that being said, but Dominic, what he's very good in is in a very holistic and realistic image of the situation, where other persons in the companies are perhaps a little bit more too ambitious or living on a pink cloud. And he's very good at, he's risk averse, very stable. So I think that's a very strong point of Dominic. And also, you know yourself as well, he's also familiar with e-commerce. So, and it's the same for me. So we are very known with you guys as our clients, because we understand what's going on in your mind. We understand your worries. And if someone says, I'm going MRR, I tell them, where do you store your tokens? He said, what are you talking about? So we are aware of the problems that could occur. But the only thing that is a bottleneck is I can't talk to every client every day. It's impossible. So therefore, we need to expose a little bit better our information that we have to our customer group. Yeah. So, but that's something we're working on as we speak.
Nice.
But what you mentioned with your MRR, of course, you have multiple brands, you have cash flow going in. But if it's your first brand and you lose all your income that you have worked with,
it's fucked up.
Yeah, you're gonna cry for a couple of days probably. It's gonna hurt.
Depends.
It's gonna hurt.
It kind of hurts 100%.
So yeah, but I had another client that, you know, let's not say names, but when we had to go out of Dubai through Oman, there was one guy with us, and he also told the story. He had the same with the tokens, right?
Yeah, I know. He told me.
How much did he lose?
Yeah, about 2 million in MRR or something.
2 million MRR, yeah. I said 2.5, 3 million profit a year was gone.
It's a lot.
That's
overnight.
Overnight.
Crazy.
Yeah, imagine that happening. But it's a good lesson, and now he's very skilled at rerouting.
I speak with him often now. Not often, like sometimes.
Time to time.
He has a lot of good things. He always helps me. Good guy.
It's an amazing guy. But that being said, he got forced into this, in the fact that he didn't have this knowledge. So now he has a lot of knowledge about it and the right context. So therefore you push yourself to a new...
But it's also very interesting, like the routing and the whole cascading setup and the whole checkout setup. Like I'm already in the game. I know my stuff, but...
The other world, huh?
It was like a world opening to me. And also the developers, even they have a lot of issues with it. They've been doing it for a year, but every setup is different and everything is difficult and everything needs to be perfect, set up well. And it's a big headache to fix.
Does it convert or else?
It converts. You don't have shop pay. That's the downside, which is very big in the US. But it's nice that you can do the extended upsells. That really helps a lot. But it's a very interesting setup.
Do you use with Checkout Champ also the direct purchase link in the ads?
No.
Because they have that, eh? Are you aware of it?
No.
Okay,
my developer maybe needs to do that.
I also know the guys from Checkout Champ, so I met them in Budapest. I met them. So a couple of those representatives.
The guy's called Matt, right?
I don't know if it was Matt. It was another guy. I don't have his name for you. I have his Telegram. I hate to use Telegram, but I'm very bad at it. That being said, no, I met them on the fair. So there was a trade fair there, and saw a big, stand from Checkout Champ. I was talking with them, and he was telling me that they also see a very high conversion rate when you have the link directly in the ads.
Nice.
But it depends on how your funnel is. So if you have a funnel where you set on VSL going all forward, basically the VSL, the moment they press the button is the moment that they want to buy. Because on VSL, I don't know how long yours are, but I've seen some of the VSL be like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 60 minutes,
that's
like
long.
Going all the way. Yeah, but they basically keep... It's like teleshopping.
They
just keep going back and forward.
I know what you mean.
They fight every reason that you can have to not buy it. And once you're there for, I want to buy it now, you just have the button. And then sometimes they go to a listicle or whatsoever. So then you have to read again, go through it again. And he said like people that are in a certain VSL, which has an extent of actually working in the fact that the moment you press is actually the moment you want to buy, then going direct to the checkout page, to the link.
It works.
Amazing.
Crazy.
He said conversion rate 16 to 22%.
Yeah, it depends, right?
Depends, yeah. On that specific.
That's
thing.
nice.
If you also target the right customer.
Yeah. Nice. Depends a lot on your setup, but it's so interesting. All the thing about it.
Almost unlimited, almost unlimited possibility. And the funny part is, of course, we have the brand Suits, but we don't have any e-commerce brand. But still, I have all these little bits of knowledge.
You need to know, right, for your customers.
I think I'm a little bit.
You're also curious. I'm
very curious. I love it. I find it very interesting to know. This is like a year ago.
Why not launch a Suits brand? You have Dominique on board.
I have Suits.
No,
Suits.
Like an e-commerce brand with Suits.
Yeah, I don't
know. Show the
people
you can do it.
I believe if you want to start a brand, we have the people around us to make it a very big success, even though because we know the theory, but we haven't done it in practice. So there's also a big gap of implementing it. Yeah, because I have something in my mind, but if I don't fix where the button is going to be, still need to do it. I do believe that if you would launch a brand, it would be successful due to the fact that the people that we have around us, they have done it multiple times. So Dominic could refer to you, I could refer to other guys. And probably everyone's going to help us because we all helped you at some point. And then you have to return the favor. But that being said, as that would be very cool. It would be like a side project. And that I do not have the time for that right now.
Too busy.
Time is my worst enemy at this moment. And what you mentioned with currently doing the research and reading a lot, I now hardly talk to clients, maybe 2 hours a day, and I'm literally only reading contracts and stuff. So I also, the things I really love to do, I do the least right now, due to the fact that we're doing certain stuff that has to be done. And once that's done, I can go again, do the stuff that I love.
It's the boring stuff that pays, right?
Yeah, it has to be done. You need to build certain things on fundamentals.
Yeah.
And you need to read.
Is AI a big thing in your business or not? Because it's more privacy and...
It is up till a certain point. We're investigating it right now as we speak. The limits that we have are two things. One is, of course, the privacies. So as we work on our ISO certificate...
What's ISO?
Yeah, well, you have certain classes, ISO 27006. And basically that means that the company and our staff and our programs and our systems that we use have a kind of level of security and backups that there are certain client portfolio who work with that find that very important. And that means that we cannot have any exposure of any data leaks or whatsoever. Well, AI, if you upload something in ChatGPT, it's instantly data exposure. Because if you would upload your meta ads and your brand and everything, if someone else searched it, they could access a partial of the data because you trained that AI, and if someone else asks it.
It's not that easy, right? There are layers to it or not?
Yeah, but our data security officer is not super keen on it.
No.
So no documents, nothing with the client name. So you can do like a basic deep dive. So yesterday I had to find something from a very specific point. So I can also type it in Google and find it, but then AI is faster. But that in combination with all the systems that we are obligated to use to be able to file and to be able to communicate with the tax authorities are outdated 20, 30 years back in time.
Yeah.
So they don't have the APIs available to really do what you want to do. So you can have somewhat of a optimization, but you're limited. We're currently investigating how far can we do it while still being compliant.
Yeah.
And
makes sense.
Now we have to wait for the report and then I can read again.
You can go again at
then
it.
I can read again. Yeah, it's just basically reading reports the whole day of the teams and managers doing stuff.
Boring stuff.
Yeah,
it's not my thing. The guys who do, I love seeing it, but it's not for me, bro.
Well, I'll be honest. This is not what I like to do the most as well. But we need to stay up to date. We need to keep learning. Laws change, things change, systems change.
Business, right?
Yeah, and the problem is, it's not a problem because we have so many service lines. If the odds of something changing in those service lines increases by the amount of service lines you have. So if you only have one service line and something changes each 6 months, then you only have once a 6 month to relearn or adjust. But if you have everything going and then you want to go to a new market and this and that, so it just keeps stacking up.
Keeps going.
And that being said, we're also trying to, or not trying to, we're going to achieve some new very cool service lines, which I have to dive into it as well and learn more about it, understand it better. And we have our customer avatar. I think we have 3 of them, and they have sub avatars. And based upon that, we need to find whatever it is that you guys need for the next step.
Yeah.
And that's what we also are actively doing. So yeah.
Nice. Good stuff in the pipeline.
I hope, yes. Yeah, it will be amazing stuff if we are able to find the grounds that we need to to launch it. But I think we have the right clients. We're already in the right niche, and we can do a lot of things very positively for you guys, just to be able to make you guys scale further and go harder. Yeah.
Good shit. You're also busy with a payment processor, if I'm not wrong. Maybe you can talk about it, maybe not. But
I can elaborate on it indeed. So a lot of people have so-called payment processors, but they're basically a white label of another payment processor, which is a white label of another payment processor, because you do need to have banking license. Going very in depth in that. And that being said, it really is a rabbit hole, I'll be honest. So when you learn it, you learn more terms like TC40s, TC20s, all those kinds of things. And then you start to understand it better and better. It is a roller coaster, but it seems that the end is near. But that being said, we're probably gonna launch
to have it for a couple of clients or for the broad world to use? Because I know also people, they use it with their financial company, but they just pick their highest clients and make a lot of money on them. And you have people who just pick all the low fruits and scale that one up.
Well, what a lot of people don't know is that the real money with payment processor is not made on people doing e-commerce. So it's the high risk department. So the gambling, the adult industry, that's where the real money is made, because there the transaction fee is between 10 and 15% on the revenue. So but the problem is you need to have a lot of good quality traffic. And that's being said, usually card present sales are very well. So if you go to a Starbucks and you pay with your card or Apple Pay, that's a card present, you're physically there. Yeah. So it's a very low risk transaction. And the odds of you go, let's say something's wrong with the coffee, the odds of you going in your bank account and file a dispute is zero. Is zero. You're probably going to shout at the person in front of you, depending on what kind of person you are. So you want to have a lot of those kind of transactions. And that's why if you pay something, you see Worldline, you see Adyen. So
it's very low, right?
They have so much transactions coming in, which are very low. And then they have their partners, and those partners are pushing high risk. And there's where the real money is made, because those partners have the IC++, so that's basically the base fee. And on top of that, you have the margin that they take, and they have a split on the margin. So if the parser charges 10%, and let's say the base fee is 3, depending on where you sell, sometimes 4, and something in between, whatever's on top of it, you split it also with the big payment process. So they even make more money out of it. Yeah. But as an e-commerce owner, you do have disputes, but you do not have the high transaction fee that they want to have. It depends on who you talk to. There are someone that are very heavy.
You pay some now, yeah.
Yeah. Around 8 to 10, huh?
7, yes.
Yeah,
it's up there.
Yeah, but 7 is good.
It's worth it.
But if you say you want to pay 7, I'm probably going to give you a list of 30 payment processors to want to work with you.
Yeah, of course.
But if you want to pay 4,
it's more difficult.
It's more difficult, because the problem is most of those companies, there are merchants, so that's you. You have the acquirer that's above. Yeah. And you're also just on acquire level. So if you have 10 merchants and one of them is great and 9 of them are bad, then the acquirer gets shut down. So if you had 9 great merchants, so 9 of guys that are doing well with low dispute rate, and you get with someone else and that does extremely high amounts of traffic but extremely high dispute rates, then the other 9 get shut down as well. Yeah. So imagine being an acquirer, having, let's say, 200 million in transaction in revenue going on monthly basis, and you make 1%. 2 million in profit a month. Would you then hire one guy that can jeopardize your whole 2 million profit?
No.
And that's why they add,
and yes.
Depends on how much it brings,
because
right?
It will be the biggest one.
Depends, because there's one thing that you cannot know is how much everyone's going to sell the other days. Yeah. So you need to have somewhat of a spare space, because of one of the good guys has a failure with their pipeline, with their supply chain, and then all the orders get bad as well. then you go over the allowance, and then you could get shut down, or you can get like hundreds of thousands of USD in fines.
Yeah.
And the fines will be charged at you, and then it's your problem to recollect it at the merchant level. And if the merchant level is not going to pay, you lose your money. So that's why you have the rolling reserves. That's why you have the delayed payout, because 95% of the chargebacks become within 72 hours for the first 3 days. So that's why you T+3 instead of T+2, 1 or 0. So there's a lot of things that come with it.
Yeah.
So they are managing their portfolio the whole time, and they need to calculate what is the portfolio going to do the next couple of days or month, and how does that impact my allowance that I have. So they are on continuous basis have the calculations going back and forward. And then someone will go, hey, I also want to process. And they say, okay, can you give me your 90-day payment processing history? Because most cars can give disputes up until 90 days. That's they want to have it. They say, yeah, I just opened the store and I just want to scale very hard. I have no data. I said, yeah.
Fucked.
That's why they're asking the 90 days. That's the rule of thumb. So there's a lot of reasons behind it. And no one want to jeopardize all the profits that are making with their system. And just for one guy. So you need to be a solid guy, because let's say you are now working with a private processor. Would you like if your private processor would just take anyone, which then can hurt your potential brand?
But they do take anyone. That's the thing.
At this moment, maybe...
In the end, they...
But it could be if they have the acquire level, that they have a lot of clean traffic and they know how much risk they can take. Because if you know, like, hey, I can get like 25 million in high risk transactions without any problem, you would just take a lot of people and then just manage it. So, okay, now we're around 80 million. Let's see how they're doing. And then you talk to the big guy having 100 or 200 million or maybe $1 billion a monthly traffic going through it. I said, yeah, I still have like 5-6 million left. Because if you are a white label underneath, it could also be that they judge on the big guy above. The big guy above says, hey, I give you 10 million in high risk processing because I have 100 million going through it. See whatever you do, just keep me updated. So then you get the space to navigate in it.
Makes sense.
But that being said, so it's a whole big game of risk and reward. And no one wants to jeopardize the whole name, because the payment processing world is very little, very small. So a lot of people know a lot of the people having the white label payment process and everything, they know everyone. And they do not like to work with just a random guy. So you have to have some authority. You need to know the right guys, or else you can't get in it.
Yeah, interesting world. It's a big thing.
Yeah. So definitely, but the impact could be huge if done correctly.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
Yeah, but that being said, we're gonna focus on the higher end of clients that has the 90-day history, of course, because if you do not have the 90-day history, why would we jeopardize all our clients for it? So it's not a risk we're willing to take. And to be honest, there's a lot of people doing high numbers, hundreds of them. The problem I do believe that's going to come is the people who are just starting out. How are they going to get foot between the door to be able to get to a point that they...
I think they won't.
It's going to die out, I think. I do believe that's going to die out. So this is the moment to accumulate wealth, accumulate revenue, and establish relationship with banks and processors. So if you open a new company, they already know you and the money that you have done. So they say, you know what, Maxim, you're a great guy. I already know you from other brand here. This is your allowance. Try it out. So this is the moment to really build a relationship. Right? And real new guys coming in, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, but I think if you start ecom now, it's hard anyway. Shopify is hard. Payouts are longer. If you have to start now with no cash, good luck. Like 2 years ago.
How would you start out now, if I may ask?
I think about this a lot. Good question. I think what I would do is... Very good question. I think loaning money is a possibility, not starting with not a lot of capital. Maybe I would even do... There's also different businesses.
What would you consider a lot of capital?
A lot of capital to start. I think right now you need to have at least 20K, 30K to start. That's a lot of money for people. Yeah, you know, if you're not an entrepreneur, you're just starting out, 20, 30K is a lot of money. Yeah. Especially for ecom guys. They're all 18, 20 years old. They're not 30 years old. I've seen, but yeah, it's mostly young people. So you need to have some capital. It's impossible now to start with 1K and get to 100K a month next month. It was possible 3 years ago. Now it's way more difficult. But I like it as well, because then all the competition is less, the non-serious people are washed out, and it's a result of people conducting wrong business, which is a big thing in ecom, of course. The black hat guys, the gray hat guys, we all know them. Yeah. But game's game, but they messed up the situation for it to be now so difficult for people to start, I think.
Yeah,
you know?
and it will only get harder because they will
Yeah.
always find a way, and they
100%.
run on systems that are illegal from the foundation, but it works.
Yeah.
So, but besides diving into that topic, yes, I do believe it's going to become harder. You need more and more capital. If I would think honestly about it, maybe also a very good way to start. It is a slower start. Is maybe you can start like a marketing firm. You
Yeah,
start
exactly.
doing marketing
Different
for,
business.
for people that are around you.
Affiliate marketing is also a good
Yeah,
one.
but you get familiar with the payment, with the advertising platforms, with Google, with SEO, and make your first couple 5, 10, 20, 30K with that. And then you use that knowledge, experience, and use other one's monies to run their ads as media buyer, maybe not on a super high scale. And from there on, with the knowledge that you have, with the experience that you've done by using someone else's money, you can maybe transition yourself into your own brand.
I think even you have two types of people, right? The people who just want to go for cash flow and the one who want to go for exit. I think even for cash flow, I think e-com is not the best game. I think if you want to, I spoke to a guy and he's really, really big. Like he does millions of profit a month. Crazy. He's also very well known in the space. And he just said to me, like, everybody talks about exit, but I don't care about exit. I just want to make a lot of money on a day-to-day and invest it in other things. And I get that as well. And he switched from e-com completely to affiliate marketing because there's much more. If you know what you're doing with your funnels, there's much more money to be made on a cash flow basis in affiliate marketing, I think, and especially after what I've researched. So for people starting, that's also interesting because I don't know exactly how it works, but it's like you get a CPA target and the CPA you actually get the money in between you get. So it's really interesting. So as you said, I think if I would start now, I would not even start with e-com. I would do high ticket sales, something like that, just to get cash in. And then once you're ready to invest your capital into e-com, then I would do it and start with it in the correct way, not by selling garbage and going broke again. But it's become more difficult, but the ones who do pull through are the ones who also gonna eventually make it big, I think. I think 5 years ago, even a monkey could make money with e-com. Like even my cat could make money by clicking some random buttons. A lot of people made money, but now you have people doing insane amounts of money and people doing nothing. Like the gap is just becoming bigger.
True.
And I think it will only become bigger and bigger, but I think it's a good thing because you have serious and not serious in every business. You know, and 5 years ago, everybody could make money. But there are also people that then made money and now, because they're not serious with the business, have gone back to zero. And there's people who have just taken the chance e-com and blasted it through and made insane amounts of money and exits. So I think it's a good thing. I think it's logical that it happens and happened.
Okay, the big question. Best advertisement platform?
Difficult one. I think depends on what you sell, but I think if you have to choose one, it would be Meta, right?
Right.
It's the biggest. The scale that you can get and get quickly is there. You don't need to be fully compliant like on Google because that's a big issue. So I would say Meta, but Google is pretty close. But I think the one channel you have to do is omni-channel. If you can get a good funnel set up everywhere and have everything working together, then you're done with your channel. But for starting, I would say start on Meta. TikTok, I don't like. And it's all diversions from actually the skill you want to get to. Because on TikTok, I know very few people doing 100K a day. On Meta, I know a lot. So I think Meta is always the answer.
But maybe it's also the circles you're in, right? Because in the US, you have a very big thing, that's TikTok Shop. I follow one guy, I forgot his name, but he has like 15 to 20 million a month in TikTok Shop.
But that's not paid, you know? That's organic.
Yeah, definitely. But with the creators, just letting them do the marketing for you and just give them a cut. So you basically let other people do it and you give them a commission.
But again, the people who take TikTok Shop in their channels is the biggest because you can leverage the things you get from the TikTok Shop again in Meta really hard. That's what I know a lot of people do. But for that, you need stock in US. You need a lot of things. But yeah, TikTok Shop is big and I think it will be one of the biggest things in e-com.
For now, until they get regulated again.
Yeah, it's pretty regulated, right? Or not?
These days, well, it got bought, I think, by a US guy. TikTok not?
I don't know. I'm not really into
yeah, it got
TikTok
bought, huh? Got bought? Yeah. Yeah, we have some...
we have some guests.
Yeah.
Some very smart guests. But no, I think for e-com, the biggest thing you can do is have multi-channel. If you have that set up well and everything works together well, then you have a real brand. Then
but
you can
it could
say.
also be hard, right? Because a lot of people don't know it. I don't hear a lot of people talking about SEO. No one does it, but I know people also scaling with SEO. And it also helps a lot with payment processing in banks because they would check your organic reach of your website and they see really visitors coming in. Instead of you say I do 1 million a month and they look at your reach and it says no, 0 visitors.
Yeah.
So that also looks a bit odd. So it helps also with your credibility. And again, the omni-channel approach, people searching for certain words. So you need to have the blogs, everything to it. So I think, and this is cool, right? So you're doing great. You know, a lot of people doing great and we still stumble upon topics that we don't hear a lot of people talk about. So imagine like how big the ocean actually is and what all the stuff is that you still can do to perform well. If you would look, and then we go a little bit to our area of expertise is, what a lot of people do is, of course, the company setups, right? So and I don't know if you have tried different kind of companies, but what is your experience with setting up companies, putting the stores underneath it? Does it go smooth? Does it have any benefit?
For me, it's smooth because we genuinely have a good backend and we set up stores that are not really that high risk. Apart from the supplements brand, which is always going to be
MR is always high risk, yes.
Exactly. So apart from that, I've not had any problem with either Shopify payments or anything in the last 2 years, like nothing. So that being said, like company setups are pretty easy for me. I don't really have any issues with it, but I like to keep it simple. People have all these setups and this and that, and it's good. I get it. You want to minimize tax and do this and that. And I also need to go do it in the future to have the biggest exit, I know. But for now, I just like to keep it simple and easy. And I think that has worked well for me up until now.
I see a lot of people, when they somehow broke their payment processing, they instantly jump on another entity. I said, well, maybe let's look at the costs why you messed up.
Of course.
And then they either didn't fulfill the orders. So Shopify checks those kind of thing. The terms condition is empty. They have a link in the footer, but you press on it and it shows nothing.
Yeah. Typical things.
What also is very bad is dead links, product pages that are empty. For people doing mass testing, a very big advice is all the products you're not selling anymore, delete the discount.
The discount,
Yeah, because it's very bad for payment processors. Look at your store, and if everything is in the discount, everything has a sale.
Looks fake.
It looks more fake, because a lot of people doing that are actually the bad ones.
Yeah.
So you want to do everything to not look as a bad seller. I also had it with the Stefano and Max to chat about it, and the homepage, you can also really take a lot out of it as well, because people are actually shopping like they would shop always. So what a lot of people do is have a homepage with a banner and collections, and that's it. But if you really invest a lot of time in your homepage and have all kind of seasonal,
it's also a funnel, right?
It's a funnel, and people go from the product page, they add it to the shopping cart, go to the homepage, they check it, they add more products. So for people doing fashion or products where they sell multiple items, where it's custom to do it, definitely have a huge homepage, do a lot of it, because it helps a lot.
Something we can also improve.
For the AOV. Yeah.
100%.
Here we go again.
Yeah. For us, it's really the direct response at the moment, which we're really big on.
Yeah, but if it works, right?
Yeah.
But the question is, you should diversify your risk, and you never want to be only doing one thing. It's the same for us. So we have different service lines, different teams, different this, different that. Because I truly believe that we have the accounting department, so just bookkeeping and filing, basically, and then of course the tax advisory, the legal. But I believe that bookkeeping and accounting will probably be something of the Stone Age within a couple of years.
Yeah.
AI doing it, or maybe it's going to be directly in the banks, because that's where the transaction happens. You just add the invoice like Revolut does.
Easy.
So there probably is going to be a switch with that. So I do believe that bookkeeping it's going to be something of the past.
I think so as well.
100%. So the only thing
I think a lot of things are going to be from the past.
Exactly. So you need to position yourself and where it's going to be better and where you can do the difference. And
I also feel it on a day-to-day. I want to fire as much people as possible, also my business. Why not?
Well,
you know,
I find it hard to let someone go, as this person has done great and contribute to the company.
100%. Some people are key, but I think some people, and I think it's more than 50%, they have done something which had a terrible impact on your business once. And I'm not scared to replace them with AI. The thing is there to use, and it's amazing. Like we use it more and more every day, and we see the opportunities with it. And it can not only replace people, but it can improve your whole segment of your business in just a click of a finger. So we are optimizing a lot. Of course, you have a few key players. Like I have some old students of mine who are working in my business. They're key players. I would never touch them because they also think with the company. They also do vision and mission. But except for that, I think 90% is replaceable. And why not even like in e-com replace them? Why not? Some days I think like, okay, I'm like you. I want to keep them in the company because I don't like firing people. And then they send me a message like, hey, I'm 20 minutes late.
Yeah, but they don't do that.
No.
So
maybe not with you, but with me sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Happens.
Yeah, but
so,
that sucks. That I'll be honest. We're talking about good employees that also all contribute to the company, and we're not.
With you, it's different, I think.
Yeah, well, the problem with employees, or not the problem, is they can get sick. This can happen.
Yeah.
X can happen.
But so those are all risks for your business.
There's always an unreliable segment to it, which you cannot lose. That being said, if you have a Teams day and you have a dinner with all of them and seeing each other and building with each other, that also gives a lot of good impact and satisfaction as well.
True.
So imagine that you do everything with AI. It's just you and your laptop for the rest of your life.
Of course, not everything.
There's also a little bit the community about it, right?
That's true, but I think the way you can leverage AI in the future is going to be crazy. Like right now,
it's
what we want to do, it's not that good yet, but we want to set it up that it can run a complete brand like from A to Z. Hopefully it's possible. We don't know yet, but we think it is. Like right now we think it is, but AI is still evolving every day. So I think in the next coming months, it will be 100% possible. But then instead of like focusing just on one brand, you can make an oak of brands, like, a tree of brands. And I think there's the real play because you can use AI to manage everything day to day and they will do it not 100% correct, but 99 without stimulants. Where with teams, you need to rely, set it well. And you see it also with the big boys, like the Medvi company. I don't know if it's completely AI. Have you seen it?
I'm not fully aware of it.
Yeah, it was a company. It was run by two people, a guy from America and his brother. And they built it up from 0 to 1.8 billion a year with more than 25% profit, where their competitors do like only 5.
No
just
stuff.
using AI.
No stuff.
Yeah, two people. That's great. That really showed me that, this is where it's going. And it was the first billion company with less than 10 employees or something. So it just goes to show it's crazy. And people really need to be aware of what AI is possible to do. It's crazy what it can do and how we can set it up.
If it becomes so good and you just give it make me a brand that does $1 million a month and it can execute upon it, then you have, again, the competition, everyone doing the same stuff.
True. But I think if you are the guy above with the tails, if you are that guy, you know what the fuck you're doing, and then you of course, if you use AI like a moron, then the outcome is going to be moronic. But if you use it with your own skill set, then I think you can really...
If I say it correctly, you say it will boost your performance instead of replace your performance.
It will boost it. It will replace the current performance. It will, like, bro, of course, you need to focus on quality with ads, but purely front-end talking, if you can push out quality and 10x your volume, of course, it's going to get only better. Because also Meta is using a lot of AI to push the ads better. So that only gets combined because they can sort a lot more creatives because people are just launching like crazy. And if they can source out the quality ones way quicker, but you have 10 times more output, then that's just a combination which is golden. And if you then know what you're doing with your markets, with your awareness stages, with sophistication levels, and you know how to market things, then you're going exponential, I think. At least 100%.
Agreed, 100%. So I think, the execution, the speed, and the quality improves us. So, and if it's still somewhat unreachable for the average Joe, then that will be your advantage against all the other people. So you can just outperform.
Because it is difficult to set up.
Definitely.
It's not easy, bro. People only know ChatGPT. That's like level 0.1, Yeah.
So you need to start somewhere. That being said, I was talking to some guys and they really got crazy AI experts in their businesses. And exactly what you're telling me, a couple of them doing one does $1 million a month, one does 1.8, some 2.
Doing well.
4 hours of work a week. That's it.
Yeah, of course.
Everything's been taken care
I
of.
hope also that's the case with me soon.
So he said it's run fully automatic. I have nothing to do anymore. He says I'm bored.
I'm bored. Yeah, I get it. I want to do the same.
Yeah.
Why not?
So it is already possible.
It's 100% possible.
But,
yeah, we're busy with it. We're gonna set it up 100%. But yeah, AI is crazy. I'm yet to explore everything.
It's cool, huh? And also interesting to see where the world is going to.
Yeah, I think it's going to change a lot. AI is going to change a hell of a lot of things, especially school, I think. I think school is not going to be as relevant in 10 years from now. Because why would it, you know? I think the learning is not going to be dissolved, but the learning is going to change, I think.
Of course, it's, I think, more about being able to implement the right systems.
Then learning the
know
bullshit.
how to use it and then benefit from it. And in the meanwhile, you also learn a lot about it, because school for some people has a lot of benefits, and for certain things, not at all. So
Yeah.
it literally depends on what you want to do.
Exactly.
I think school is also very good to learn social skills.
Discipline also.
Discipline, social skills, deadlines. But it's also in the age of the adolescence, where you're also first time going out of the house, exploring, doing new stuff, pushing boundaries with your parents. So it's a very big personal development process.
Yeah, 100%. But I think it's going to change. And I hope so as well. Because, the way where school is going to, I don't know. Especially in Europe, it's getting fucked up, right? I hear so many stories from people now.
I do not talk with a lot of people that go to school anymore, to be honest. I'm a bit older than that. So what are the stories that you hear?
No, not the old people, or not like the people who are 5th grade or something, but just the kids, what they get fed into school. Mm-hmm. We're not going to go into the subject of like the word.
I know where you want to go to. Let's leave let's leave the topic as it.
I think I would homeschool my child. Let's keep it at that.
It could be very good. You learn their own variables and you make sure that they learn a lot. You can also look at private schools and international schools. Those are also pretty well.
True.
I had my niece and my nephew went to that, and by the age of 5 or maybe 6, they spoke 3 languages. So
nice.
It's a huge asset to have. So great. That being said, so we talked about your journey, the businesses, a little bit about the company setups. You keep it simple. The IP is very important. We see a lot of people missing it. Payment processing. If you would compare the 100K guy and let's say the 1 million a month guy, what are the biggest changes in behavior and in systems that they usually implement? So what is the difference between a 100K a month guy, you've been there yourself, and now doing over 1 million a month guy?
I would say the most important thing is, again, research. Having extensive customer knowledge, that's one. You can get to 100K a month easy, but I think to drag it further, you do need to exactly know who's buying from you and how to speak to them. Other than that, I think systems is also a very important one, because again, 100K a month, you can do it with 20 ads live, but 1 million, I think you need more. You can also do it with 20 ads live, but you need to do it consistent. You need more than that. You need clear systems. You need some key hires as well. Hiring is also a big one. But if it really comes down to one thing, I think the big difference between 1 million a month, and even bigger than that, and doing 100K or smaller numbers is really knowing your customer, having the right offer for that customer, and channeling the correct ad format to get these things to the customer. If you can have these 3 things on lock, you'll be there. Also, good example, the Belgian guys, Arthur and Brian, they're doing fantastically well. Mm-hmm. They are very good at Google dropshipping fashion, because they understand that there's a difference between Google and Meta, is that Meta is really the bottom of funnel people. They look up white dress and they get the white dress they want to buy and they buy it. And they understand that well, and that's why they can scale to, 100K a day. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're doing amazing. So they understand that difference. And if you understand what you're doing in that segment, like really understand the market, understand your customer, have a good offer for the customer, and channel that well, I think then you're golden, and you can even scale to more than that. And even if you investigate the really big brands, that's exactly what they're doing. They're not, if you see them, you would think like, what the fuck? But they understand really well their customer. They make good ads, channeling that to the customer, and then they have a good offer which the customer can pick on, and that's it. And retention. Those things are the most important. Those are really big brands.
Yeah?
I think so.
Okay, very cool. Thanks for...
What do you think about that?
I think it's true. Anyone hitting in 100,000 does maybe 90% of stuff wrong. And once you start implementing a clear system, guidelines, SOPs, training systems, a good hiring process, because it's a full business, and a business consists out of different sectors, boxes basically, and you need to become better at each sector. So there's management, then you have the financial skills, then you have the creative side of things, then you have this, you have that, and the amount you're making is a direct reflection of your skills, systems.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you want to make more money, then something needs to improve.
I think a big part is also mentally. The 100K guy, I remember when I was at 100K, I thought it was the shit, bro.
Yeah.
But you're actually so fucking dumb. Like, you don't know nothing.
Yeah.
And that's where I think people get stuck if they make their first money as well. But that fades away over time if you have a good mindset. But I think a lot of it is also just mentally and disciplinary. I think that's also a big part. But people always leave it out. The skills need to be there, but so if your mind is good, it's always the people that have the best mindset and the clear vision that actually get it. It's never the guys who just know the skills and know what the fuck they're doing. If you have the perfect mindset and not the motivation, but you really want to get something.
Your motivation is in the beginning, but that fades away.
It fades away. But
yeah.
The discipline, if it's really there and you're mentally, you need to be a bit smart as well. Like, you cannot be a complete bimbo. Then you will get to where you want to go.
Well, there are some people that I would say that they aren't the brightest of the all, but they do very well. And I think the reason for that is that they don't see risk.
True.
So they just they hear something, they just go for it.
But then they're not bimbos if they don't see risk. I think bimbos are people who have fear and just
they have no light in the eyes. Let's say that. So and then you have so I would say, like, if you look at the top 5% of people making shit lot of money, I say place 5% to 3% are people who are very good at it. They just execute very fast and they hit a loop. They are able to do feedback loop and improve on that. And then maybe the top 1-2%, those are like the extreme, super bright guys that
also have that.
They also have that, but they're extremely, extremely focused on what they're doing.
100%.
So that's what I see. Because sometimes if I talk to guys that do over 100 million or 200 million a year in revenue, I sit with them on a table having dinner and they are just analyzing the whole conversation the whole time. You see them thinking of everything you say, how you say it, and you see them thinking of, they instantly are reflecting it to their own business and they are asking very strong questions. Okay, you just said that. So if I am doing this, how would that involve X? And you see that he already implemented it in his head and then already found a problem and he's
they think about everything.
They think about everything that's important. And everything that's not important, they give 0% attention. So I was talking to some guy and he said, like, I'm just going to sit there. It's next to this restaurant. So I just go every day to this restaurant so I don't have to think of what I have to eat.
Game's a game. Why not?
I just said because I do not want to waste my focus of my day on thinking about stuff that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's 100%. Basically, and he makes, he does it well.
Yeah.
So, and that's the same with the guy from Facebook, right? He just wears the same stuff every day. He just doesn't care. Mark. So do you also experience like crazy brain fatigue at the end of a long day?
Nah, I do have a good energy base. Like, you can ask people, I always have energy. So I don't, brain fatigue sometimes, but you just have to push through it. I don't believe in like
push through it, or you just get like 3 more espressos.
Nah, I don't feel it when I drink espresso or Red Bull. So I just drink it because I like drinking it, but I'm not that big into like optimizing the coffee time and doing butter in your coffee. I'm like, bro, do normal. But
that's the Italian side of Europe.
Yeah, just be normal and drink your coffee and enjoy your day. But I don't really have brain fatigue. I think I'm very clear-headed at where I want to go. And I think my brain fatigue will not beat that. So I don't really take that into consideration. And also, if you think about it, it becomes worse, you know? And I think about, I'm tired, I get really tired. But when I think about, I'm now going to jump off a cliff, I get really, not jump off a cliff, but like do something energetic, I really get up there. So I think that's
Makes
it.
sense. I do experience sometimes that I'm just completely fried.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But but you talk to people the whole day on calls.
No,
If
not
I do
even.
calls, I'm also a bit fried. Calls are super low
Sometimes you
ROI.
have those events and they start like 9 a.m. and that goes until 2.
Yeah, of
and then
course.
next you have to be there again at 9 and until 2 because
course.
you have the event, you meet all the people, and then afterwards you have the dinners, and the dinners always extends very long.
Yeah.
And then the next, it's just those 2-3 days you're completely destroyed.
That's really fatiguing.
Yeah,
I get that.
But that's for everyone. But you see, the
True.
day after, like half of the group doesn't show up at 9 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Not particularly our group, but in general,
Too
the
tired.
people attending the event. And I've done the same. I have an event in a couple of weeks again. Will be great. Crazy people coming there.
Yeah.
And but I know already the second day, the half of them is to come up always.
Gonna be at home, man.
No, that's
course.
not.
No?
No, I'm gonna do my best. But I like it. So. So one of our global partners is Dominic's, of course, your little brother.
My little brother.
They will love it if you say it.
Yeah.
There's actually it's your story to tell, but what's actually the story how he became part of our group in this end?
Yeah, you guys know each other from a call, which he booked when he started ecom. But the funny thing is, before that, let's talk about my brother. I like it. So he studied 5 years of law.
Yeah.
Right, and he's really good at it. Like, I think I'm smarter, but he is also very smart. So he finished law, and he was at the end, and he already got some proposal accepted. So he was bound to start with a law firm in my region. But then, of course, he would get a normal salary and have everything, and work for a boss. And he's a bit the same like me. Like, I cannot work for a boss. I cannot do it. Never liked it. Of course, I did it to get somewhere else, but I don't like it. And he's the same like me. And I was already doing well. I was 20 years old and I was doing well, like 400K a month, things like that. And he saw it, of course, and he's the older brother. And he's also a bit arrogant, and I have the same, but okay. So he was seeing that, and he then also started a bit with ecom, but at that time he had to go into the law firm. And if you go into the law firm, you cannot be, you cannot do something else on the side. You cannot.
It's not allowed in Belgium.
Exactly. So he had to bound to start in like a week, and he needed to make a decision. And he, at that time, I don't think he had that much money and that much going for him. So he needed to really make the decision. And I still remember him, like really, like he has a big mouth and he's very socially good, but he also has a small heart. You need to know that about Dominique. So he was calling me, asking for advice, almost crying even, my mom, everyone. And eventually, he made the decision to not go for the law firm, but to go all in on ecom. And that you need to have some balls for that. So I do really respect him for that. I never really told him, I think, but that's really respectable for him. And it's the right decision. I knew it was going to be the right decision, but I think also important for my part is that I didn't hold his hand that time. Like I let him do the entrepreneur thing himself, because it's important. You have things that go wrong and things that go good. And I think not keeping his hand at that time, I of course helped him, but I didn't keep his hand, made him a bit until the man he is now. And then he found you for some reason after I put you on a call. And then all of a sudden you were working together, and now he's doing fantastic. But I do really, really respect the decision he made at the time. I think a lot of people would not have done it. You can get a position at a good law firm and you skip it for something that has no impact yet, done nothing yet. And you only see your little fucking brother who is an idiot, because I was an idiot at that time, doing a bit of money. But that's a decision I really respect. So that's good for him. And I think it's also good for you.
Very great asset for the company,
Exactly.
For the group, and also part of the group. That being said, so that's the moment he studied years to become what he is right now and to actually use his profession. And then he came in a call with me, and of course he was Belgium. I was talking to him. I said, what do you actually study? What do you have done? So I'm a tax lawyer in Belgium, this and that. So really great. And when the call ended, because he had some questions about restructuring the business in a way that you can benefit the most for e-commerce. So with the payment processing, where do you locate the companies? Because we were doing this for such a long time already. And the call finished, and I said to my business partner, we need to call.
Yeah.
Because he's a CPA, worked for 6 years at a big four company, a lot of experience there. I, of course, have my e-commerce background. And I said, I found a tax lawyer that has also e-commerce knowledge. So
Bingo.
that being said, we said like, let's figure something out. Let's see what we can do. And I
Yeah.
think I called him up, Dominic, say, hey, I have a proposal for you. And that's how the ball got
He's
rolling.
also the perfect guy for it, right? With his social skills, like he's much more sociable than me. He can talk very well.
He can talk.
Right?
He definitely talks.
I'm a nerd. I just like to sit. He can talk and he can smooth talk and get into people's heads.
He dance.
He dance.
He dance
every day, 5 hours. But he's really good at that.
Yeah, definitely. So 100% an asset at the team. Very happy. And I think a month later we were signing. We were at the. We were signing the
out
BV.
eating, right?
I think we signed the BV within a month.
Yeah.
I just instantly went for it.
Nice.
And that being said, going back to this, execute fast. I think that's also a very important one in business. Get the data that you need to be able to make the decision. And once you have all the data that you need, then decide fast.
Yeah.
That's basically what you need to do. I don't say jump on every opportunity because you don't have all the data that you need to make a good decision. But if you have all the ins and outs, then decide fast.
Yeah.
Because you
100%.
don't want to be stuck on a decision for weeks.
Yeah.
It's just a waste of time.
True.
Especially if you then say no.
Yeah.
And if you
Agreed.
say yes, you lost also a lot of time.
Agreed.
So, but don't take every decision. Make sure you have the right information, then decide fast.
Yeah, agreed. 100%.
I think that's something I also see happening a lot with people that are actually
Doing big.
doing something. They
Yeah.
decide fast once they ask the right questions.
Yeah, agreed. So he's a good asset in your company. I'm happy to hear it.
Our company also
Yeah,
has his shares.
He's also shares. That's
Yeah, our company. It's together.
Nice company.
So what I think I like the most about our company is that everyone I talk to wants to win, and everyone thinks of each other, and everyone is helping each other out.
Yeah, that's true.
So
The only down part is we have this office in Belgium, right? With the friends. And when he's there, he's always calling, bro. Like, like people even stay home because he's always calling, bro. He's like from 8 a.m. to fucking, I don't know, 9 p.m. He's in a call. He like finishes one, we think, okay, hello. Like, bro, calm the fuck down.
I know, it goes back forward. We had I think it was Budapest, right? Where we went to last year? Yeah, Budapest. So there's some people sitting there. And we had the whole trip. We had Bali, we had Dubai, everything. But we ended up with, I think, Affiliate World in Budapest. Because some of our friends were having stands there. They gave us the tickets. They said, hey, come by. I said, you know what? We're closer to home. We're already partially there. Let's go beyond it. And I'll be honest, those guys, they arranged the hotel and it wasn't the best hotel. I wasn't super happy about it. Let's leave my opinion and
you know the story. Yeah.
You know the story.
I know the story.
But so there was like 6 or 7 of us in the hotel lobby doing meetings after meetings, back and forth. A couple of lawyers with their some of us sales representatives. And I got in a fight with one of the hotel managers because of the fact that that we had so much calls and we were so loud. We were basically owning the whole lobby with all of us. Yeah. Because we cannot sit all next to each other. So someone's sitting there, someone's sitting there, someone's sitting there. So there was so much sound. But it wasn't a hotel lobby with maybe 8 or 9 people in there, and 7 of them was ours. And I think I literally paid like 300 euros for pure coffee that whole day. It was like 80 or 90 of them on the
Some
bill.
coffee.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of coffee's been drank there. So crazy how that goes.
Always meetings, bro.
Yeah,
especially with your company, always meetings.
Yeah. I think that's it is the nature of the business.
Yeah, 100%.
It's the nature of the business.
You need to do it.
Either you talk with the team, or you talk with a client, or you talk with someone else that wants to become a client. And the funny part is, and I was talking yesterday with someone about it. So like, how do we know so much about it? Is as we are not doing very actively the marketing, so it's more if you know kind of thing. And I know a guy. So people usually reach out to us when they already have a problem. So we get so much experiences with so much problems that could occur and how they have been solved because we're actually doing the case. And I think that's why the knowledge of our extent of our knowledge is what it is right now, and it's also increasing every day. Because every day something new is happening and we have to look at it. We
can take it across.
Unique scenarios. Never heard of this before. Yesterday I had someone that was the most crazy unique scenario I ever had. I can say it a little bit. The guy is scaling very hard. Is 20 years old. I'm going to say different countries, by the way. He has a German passport but has never been there. The parents live in Greece and he has a company somewhere else in Denmark.
James Game.
No, but and he said, like, I don't even know how I got this because his parents, they move around a lot and he hasn't declared anything in the last 2 years. I said, well, great. So let's first find out which country is going to claim your tax residency. But there's also all the jurisdictions where you're not very actively operating.
Yeah.
Because the problem with the things we do is you always need to have boots on the ground.
Yeah.
So certain jurisdictions we have boots on the ground, we can basically do everything. And that's very great because if you have a problem with the tax authorities, we can also represent you. We do that a lot as well because we do have the type of clients that get into a lot of investigations. And they're very, very unique scenarios. It's going to be, I told them this is going to be a whole project together.
Thing,
yeah,
it's going to be fun.
I don't mind. I love it. Yeah, well, he was already quite fun on it. I must say also for the people from Scandinavia, if some of them are looking at it, the people I speak from Scandinavia, they're quite bright.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was talking to someone who's 18 years old. He really did some digging with the AI. Of course, everyone does digging with AI. But he remembered what he read and he understand how to implement it and what the impact was. And I thought, like,
nice.
you my guy, you're smart.
He understands.
Yeah, he understands it. Very
nice.
smart guy. Very smart guy. Was impressive because I talked to a lot of people and not all of them have that brightness. But maybe it's like one of a kind also there because every country has their top level and the low level.
Somebody sticks out sometimes.
Always.
So, Chen, also a question for you. A lot of people come to you, of course, for things, for setups. Why do you think they come to you and not to your competitors?
I think it's a combination of multiple factors. One is we're a licensed firm, so that gives also a lot of trust. Two, the company that we have and the people in there have been doing this maybe over a decade. Some of them even almost 2 decades. So that helps a lot. And three, we have also a huge track record. So people are referred by other friends of them that are doing the same numbers and they basically vouch for us that we're doing it. They did great for them.
Mouth to mouth.
Mouth to mouth is just what really helps. Basically, the client comes to us, they gave us the problem and they say it doesn't matter what it costs as long as it's fixed because I know you our guys are the right ones. And lastly, we are always thinking with the client for their future as well. So I ask them, do you want to have this business as a cash flow business or build to sell? A cash flow, okay, then we take this road. Build to sell, okay, then we do this.
It's different, right?
So it's a full different way of approach, but we can do both. The way you want to do it is way how we structure things, how the contracts are, how the money is flowing, how the supply chain is flowing. So that being said, it's a combination of multiple factors and that we are able to operate in multiple markets and we have everything. So we have the accounting, but also the tax planning, corporate and personal, and we have the legal department and we do the wealth management. So it's the complete pipeline of services that you need as a beginner when you become pro and when you do the exit. Nice. So I think that's what people like. One company, multiple contact points depending on the service, and we just help you with everything that you need.
Nice. And the communication is also top tier, right?
It's faster.
It's pretty fast.
I know, yeah. So
it's pretty fast. It's up there.
Yeah, we're trying to do our best to always respond within 24 hours.
Yeah.
So that's like one of the KPIs that you have in the company.
You can make it 10 minutes as well, right?
Yeah, well, I don't think we're gonna go into AI responding.
No, okay.
Because it takes away the human nature.
Yeah.
That being said, we are filtering more and more to the high segment of the market because the harder you go, the more we can do for you. And that's what people like. So it's not only one thing, it's a
full package
of things you really need.
Yeah.
So we also protect your brands, we protect your income, we protect your banking, we do everything. We have very good resources and partners for that.
Nice.
And we've been working with all those parts for a very long time with multiple customers. So a great example was, I think a week ago, one of the guys had a big problem with the processor. They suddenly froze their account for a while. But I know the account manager very well. And he was sitting actually next to me and he was very mad about it. And I asked him, what is happening? He said, isn't this happened? I've been going on calls, everything. And I just shoot one message to that guy like, hey, I know this guy personally. I really trust him. I can vouch for him. Release within an hour.
Nice.
And he literally said like, how is this even possible? But that being said, I do not use that authority all the time. But I really know this guy for a very long time. We were literally sitting next to each other during a dinner. So it was a great moment to do something for him. And he also paid the dinner. He was so happy that he paid for everything.
Of course, I would do as well.
Yeah.
100%.
So I think because we are doing this so long, they know our names, also in the market, also with the banks, also with the processors. And that gives us a leverage to do stuff that other people cannot do.
Nice. It's a connection, the network that brings you up further.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Good shit, bro.
So, Maxim, first of all, wonderful that you're here. I hope we spilled some tea, some nuggets, and also your perspective on how to create a brand, maintain a brand, grow, and even exit it. And lastly, let's kick it off with what is the last thing that you would advise someone that's currently having a brand and wants to scale to a new market or want to scale further? So what would you do? Or what is the way if you would audit someone else's brand? What would you look at, and what are the things you usually see that can be improved?
To scale the brand from beginning to...
Yeah.
I would refer again back to research and customer knowledge. I've been a big believer in that since a couple of months. So I would say again, the customer knowledge, research, and have the right ad formats to channel it. And then you will find a way to grow. And unit economics. Your products need to be feasible to scale. What do I mean with that? You see on TikTok a lot of these kids. We're going to kick it off, but we see a lot of these kids with 4 ROAS, but they have a break-even ROAS of 3. So they don't make that much profit. I prefer to scale on a 1.5, 1.4 even, because my break-even, even on my first purchase brand, is like 1.15.
Yeah, but it depends on the selling price. So what would be a good metric between COGS and selling price? 3x,
I would
4x,
say, no,
5x,
I always
6x.
talk about percentages, cost of goods. You need to begin with your research, in my opinion, and choose a product that's feasible for that audience. And that needs to be like perfect in unit economics. I would say even under 12% of your revenue. If you can get that, bro, it's so easy to scale. 1.6 ROAS, you can triple the budgets. And if you get a 2 ROAS, you have 50% profit. So that makes scaling super easy. And it's also the best with the way how ad costs are going. So those are the things I would really keep in mind. And then also just have a good mindset, right? We didn't talk about it so much, but I think that's with the people I help and do coach, I think 95% is mindset. Maybe 5 is because everybody knows what they need to do. But it's just the mindset and execution that's the problem with a lot of people. So I would say that. But thank you for having me as well. It was a really good podcast. Learned a lot of things today.
Yeah, I will see if the mindset is there to implement everything that you have discussed.
You will see it, 100%.
Definitely.
Not someone to challenge.